Have you ever gotten robbed while collecting Lego? For example, you're looking all over the place for a set that's now retired and you end up buying one that's over market value. Maybe you get a set that looks cool to you in the store, you build it, and then you just give it away to someone who'd enjoy it more. If you've ever brought in a set to a third-party Lego store to trade for another one that makes you happy, you better call the cops because you were robbed. Thankfully, I've been made aware by numerous Lego fans that all of these examples which I have done are contributing to the downfall of my Lego collection. If you haven't picked it up yet, that was all sarcasm. But all real criticisms I see way too often. The fact is, if someone's trying to tell you how to enjoy Lego, they're the ones who are robbing you of the joy that collecting it brings. Now, to be clear, there is a big difference between telling someone how to enjoy Lego and sharing an opinion on the matter. I think sharing opinions is super important and necessary to make any community interesting. But when opinions disregard the facts and are actually stated as one, that's when the theft begins to happen. I make a lot of videos about going to Bricks and Minifigs and trading in sets from my collection that I've already had time to enjoy for other ones that make me happy. If you're unfamiliar with Bricks and Minifigs, they're third-party Lego stores that buy, sell, and trade Lego. They work similar to pawn shops where they'll offer you less than what an item is worth so they can sell it around market value and make a profit. I've also learned that pricing depends on where a store is located. For example, California stores will look different than ones in other states since the cost of living here is higher than everywhere else. With that business model in mind, it makes sense that whenever you bring in something to trade, you're always gonna leave with something that's worth less. But what they lose out in value, they make up for in convenience. The fact I can walk in with something old and leave with something new on the same day is awesome. Also, depending on the store you're at, there can be lots of great sets from Lego's history that you can look at and touch. It's for these reasons I love to make short-form content about my experiences in these stores, and I always invite discussion in the comments because I love hearing people's opinions about my trade in general or the different items they saw in the store. As you'd expect, I enjoy reading the positive comments the most, but I understand where the negative ones come from since I'm losing value from bigger sets I bring in. But this is why I was shocked and somewhat frustrated reading the comments under a recent post I made about trading in the Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars Malevolence ship. Funny enough, I actually bought this set 100% complete from another Bricks and Minifigs in my area. It's an amazing set and I featured it in my content countless times, including a whole dedicated video you can watch here. It's been displayed on the bottom of my shelf collecting dust for over a year at this point, and I thought I might as well trade it in so I can get a couple new items for me and give someone else the chance to enjoy it too. I got $200 store credit for it, which is $30 more than what it sells for on average on Bricklink. With only 3/4 of that credit, I was able to get this cool Bionicle I've always wanted and this complete Monster Fighter set. When I posted this short, I knew I'd see the usual comments about how I never should have traded away the big Star Wars ship, but I was not expecting to read comments telling me I got robbed. Even with my detailed explanations of how I got over market value for this trade-in, people still insisted that I got scammed and I made the worst trade in history. I totally get it if people don't like the sets I got with the trade credit, but it's an absolute fact that I received more than what the set is worth on the market. Someone even confidently commented that I never made the trade at all, I'm just lying to my audience to get views, and that the Malevolence is still in fact sitting on my shelf. These are all opinions that disregard the facts and are instead stated as ones. They definitely took the joy out of the experience for me. Clearly, where these complaints stem from is monetary value. It's really another thing that can rob the joy of collecting Lego. In recent years, it's becoming a bigger practice for adult fans of Lego to buy sets, store them away, and build them when they have time. I never thought I'd do this personally, but over the years, I've gotten sets as gifts for videos that I already had and didn't have much interest in building at the time, and as a result, they're sitting in storage. This bunch of sealed sets in mine and everyone else's collection is referred to as a backlog. As time goes on, it's possible for those sets in your backlog to retire from store shelves and start going up in value. When it comes time to pick a new set to build, you might opt to build a set that's less expensive because you'd hate to lose out on the good investment a couple of your sets are becoming.
I'd love to build it, but at the same time, it's really hard to say I'll go, spend $400 overnight while building that set and reducing its value.
And it's this feeling that robs the joy of collecting. Don't get me wrong, if buying sets to store and watch their value go up to later sell and make a profit is your thing, there's nothing wrong with that. The whole point of this video is to do what makes you happy. But if you buy a set with the intention to build it and then the value or projected value goes up so much you're on the fence of building it at all, that's tough. When I got back into Lego, I always told myself I would never care about a set's value and instead just build it and enjoy it myself. Regardless, here I am with a couple sealed boxes sitting on my display. I make excuses that the main reason I don't want to open them is because they hold more meaning to me sealed in box. But if I'm being completely honest with myself, I could take them out of the box, build them, and then keep their boxes on display. There's literally no difference from doing that and keeping them sealed besides the extra value they hold in the package. Clearly, used sets are easier for me to enjoy and trade away, so I try to collect those unless there are certain videos I want to make with specific sealed sets. Like this Mars mission one I recently traded for at Bricks and Minifigs Pasadena. This alien mothership is so cool, and it comes with this interesting foam missile pump. Now when I say collect Lego in any way that makes you happy, there's one massive exception. Do not steal. I've touched on it in other videos, but these constant thoughts about Lego set values have led to actual robberies. I'm not too sure about other places in the US, but I know California has been hit hard with theft in general the last couple of years. It's so gnarly looking up police reports about whole organized Lego crime rings. This one report by USA Today says that over 2,800 sets were found in a home in Long Beach. I can't imagine how many people this operation would have taken, especially to get giant sets like UCS and Idea sets or even store displays. The thumbnail in this video is actually a real screen grab from a robbery that happened in Bricks and Minifigs Lomita in the South Bay area. Shout out to them for letting me use it for this video, and please consider checking their store out if you're ever in the area. Even though these examples I used are just in California, I'd bet money that we're all dealing with the after effects. Part of the reason I so enjoy going into stores like Bricks and Minifigs is because I can, a lot of the time, see and even hold the set I'm gonna buy. If I'm buying a set in a box, I now prefer going to the actual Lego store since they officially offer a better experience than big department stores like Target or Walmart. It's hard to find any now without their Lego behind glass walls. When I go to one now to buy Lego, it just feels like a chore I'm checking off the list. You spend some time looking at a set from behind the glass, you call someone over to open it, take your set, and then go check out. In contrast, when I was a kid, I'd go with my family to the store just so I could kill time in the Lego aisle looking at all of the boxes, front and back. No clerk had to stand next to me watching everything I did because they were cautious I could steal one. Although I don't like it, I totally understand why stores are doing this. Lego's a big moneymaker for them because of the value they hold, and if sets are being stolen from their shelves, which loses them lots of money, of course they're gonna do something to prevent it. It's losing customers like me and you to other alternatives. But I guess you could say that stores are trying their best to prevent customers from being robbed of the joy that collecting Lego brings by preventing actual Lego from being robbed from their store. I swear that makes sense in my head. Whether you've experienced something I highlighted in this video already or something I completely missed, just keep collecting Lego in a way that makes you happy. Don't let anyone tell you you're doing it wrong. When we listen to these people, we end up in another dark age situation. Up through grade school, Lego was my jam until the people around me began growing out of it and I had no one to share the hobby with. There was a notion back then that Lego was just a kid's toy, and if you wanted to survive high school and college, make friends, get invited to the parties, do all the adult stuff, you had to move on. It's when I started listening to this advice that society was giving me that I started losing enjoyment of collecting and some of my imagination with it. If we give into the thoughts that others have about how we accomplish our Lego goals, or let money and value become the only influence on how we make our decisions, we're gonna have a significantly worse time enjoying collecting Lego.